Tell me if you've heard this story before. Hip urban couple has their first kid and immediately moves to the suburbs, buys an SUV, and gradually becomes obsessed with manicured lawns. Look, I'm not here to judge anyone's choices. Today, many families feel like they have to move to the suburbs and buy into car dependency for safe neighborhoods, good schools, and for a bigger house or a lawn so their kids can play. So much of our culture tells us that's what we're expected to do. But it doesn't have to be that way. By building more dense, walkable, and livable cities, we can help families thrive. Here are 8 reasons why ending car dependency would benefit families. Welcome to Heartland Urbanist. Let's dig in. I'm Matt Caffrey. I'm an organizer based in Columbus, Ohio. I'm also a dad to a 3-year-old and an infant. So let's get into the list. Reason number 1, safety. Cars are the second highest cause of death among kids in the US, second only to gun violence. The majority of children lost are in the car that crashes, but kids are especially at risk of being hit by a vehicle while outside of a car, particularly toddlers and teens. As the parent of a toddler, this hits home. Crossing a street with a toddler is a radicalizing experience, and it shouldn't have to be that way. We'd all be a lot safer if more trips were done on foot, bike, or transit, as a comparison of road deaths in other nations helps to document. But kids in particular would be safer if there were fewer cars on the road. We also need to invest in good pedestrian infrastructure, including better crosswalks, narrowed roads at intersections, traffic signal timing that lets pedestrians and bikes get a head start, and more. Again, this is personal. The crosswalks in my neighborhood are a total joke, and we've had a number of very scary experiences using them. Our cars also need to be designed for safety, inside and out. In particular, trucks and SUVs need to be regulated so that they have lower hoods and increased visibility. And we need to set lower speed limits and redesign our roads to match, ideally 20 miles per hour in any area where a lot of people are walking. This last point is critical. The chances of a person surviving being hit by a car go from 90% at 23 miles per hour to only 50-50 at 42 miles per hour. Those numbers are much worse if you're looking at kids or seniors. There's so much more to talk about here, so keep an eye out for a future video all about pedestrian safety. Reason 2, time. People who usually drive might think that the main advantage of driving is the ability to save time. But I'd argue that ending car dependency would give us all back a lot of quality time. While point-to-point travel times might be faster when driving in some cases, time behind a wheel stuck in traffic and time on transit are not the same. Americans who drive to work average an hour a day just commuting to work. That's wasted time. On a bus or a train, you can read a book, get work done, spend quality time with whomever you're traveling, and more, all without the stress that comes with navigating traffic. But also, without car dependency, we could build a society where we all live in better communities with the amenities we need located close to home, similar to the 15-minute city concept we've all been hearing so much about recently. And as transit and bike infrastructure improves, we would find that they're actually faster than driving for many trips, as is often the case already in big cities, giving us all more time to spend on our passions or with our friends and family. Reason number 3, costs. Cars are a huge drain on family finances. The median family spends about $1,500 a month to have 2 cars based on the average total cost of ownership. Many spend more. Compare that to the cost of 2 e-bikes, say $24 a month total cost of ownership, and 2 transit passes. It varies by city, but let's say $300 a month. Adding a baby seat, trailer, or kids' bikes doesn't add much cost at all. So many families could be saving $1,000 a month or more by being able to live car-free. Even going down to 1 car could save families thousands of dollars a year. But car dependency doesn't only cost families, it costs the broader society too. A study from the European Union found that each mile driven costs society 18 cents, whereas each mile biked produces 32 cents and each mile walked produces 69 cents in benefits for society. Or you can look at the great work that Strong Towns has done, showing that sprawl and car dependency are bankrupting towns and cities. In a future without car dependency, governments would have many more resources to be able to dedicate to better services like schools and public safety. Reason number 4, happiness. This one is best illustrated with a story. My wife and I were recently visiting my in-laws in rural Northeast Ohio. We had dinner in the Cleveland suburbs and then had a half-hour drive back to their place. Within moments of getting in the car, both kids were screaming. We tried to soothe them with music, and my wife twisted in her seat to offer the baby a pacifier, but it was not working, and I was getting more and more unnerved with every minute. So we started to look for somewhere to pull over, but it took us several minutes to find a safe spot. It was torture for us and for them. If we had been on a bus, one of us could have been soothing the baby while the other watched the toddler, who could have been looking out the window, enjoying wiggling around, all without being restrained by a car seat. There's no comparison. Being on a bike or on transit is just much more fun and allows everyone in the family to enjoy the trip. Maybe that's part of why the US ranks 18th in the world for happiness. But the Netherlands, famed for being bike and pedestrian and transit friendly, ranks 5th. Reason number 5, independence. It's so funny to me that the car has become a cultural symbol of independence. That couldn't be further from the truth, especially for kids, older adults, and people with disabilities. In our current car-dependent communities, kids are stuck at home unless their parents spend hours driving them all over the place. In a walkable city, as a kid gets older, they can start exploring on their own by bike or transit, giving them independence and their parents time. In the same way, ending car dependence would restore independence to older adults and people with disabilities who aren't able to drive for whatever reason. Reason number 6, social exposure. The pandemic showed us the costs of isolation for kids and for all of us, but car dependence is an ongoing driver of isolation. In our climate-controlled boxes, kids don't interact with other people, especially people from other walks of life. But walking, biking, or taking public transit, kids have a lot more social exposure. And it's not just kids. All of us benefit from encountering people with different experiences and perspectives. That's how stronger, more cohesive communities are built. Reason 7, health. This is a big one. Car dominance is making us all less healthy. Walking, biking, and taking public transit all involve a lot more exercise, and it's not a small difference. We're talking hundreds of calories a day, and given the rising rates of obesity, and specifically childhood obesity, that's a big deal. It's not just exercise either. Ending car dependence would also reduce air pollution, which causes serious asthma attacks that kill over 300 kids a year, but also heart attacks, strokes, and more. Overall, air pollution kills up to 200,000 Americans each year, a number that sadly has been trending up in recent years. We all want to be there for our children as they grow up, and for our families to stay healthy and live long, full lives. Reason 8, the future. Car dependence is one of the leading causes of climate change. It's not just about direct causes like tailpipe emissions or manufacturing, but also about the land use and consumers' culture fueled by car dependence. If we want to leave our kids a livable planet, we need to end car dependence and build denser, more sustainable cities. So let's wrap this up. Families would benefit so much from ending car dependency. If you're feeling motivated by this video, join your local transit or bike advocacy organization. Maybe submit a 311 request for a better crosswalk in your neighborhood, or look into your local candidates' positions on urbanist issues. We can only build communities that are more livable by working together. Let me know what you're planning to do to help end car dependency in the comments or on Mastodon, where I'm at mattcaff@union.place. I'm also always open to hearing your ideas for future videos. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by liking it. And please subscribe to see future videos. I've got trips to LA and Indianapolis planned, so stay tuned for videos featuring those cities soon. Heartland Urbanist is also available on urbanists.video, a free, community-driven YouTube alternative. We post all of our videos there ad-free 1 week earlier, so go check us out over there at urbanists.video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.